good to see you again. It's the Pugnacious Pug. Today we're back with another video. We'll be responding to a article put out there by none other than the dumpster fire known as Vice. Seems they followed around a group of women known as the Black Women's Defense League, and well, they've got some views that you're going to be fun to listen to. Anyways, with no further ado, let's take a look.
We are still slaves to this day, whether it be mental, financial, material, spiritual.
Now, I don't want to be that YouTuber who every 3 seconds is stopping the tape and is not allowing you to get context of what has to be said, but holy shit. She said they're still slaves. I mean, I can't. I just can't. In 1964, the Civil Rights Act granted black people the same rights as everyone else, as all other groups. Now, obviously the treatment of black people prior to 1964 was abhorrent. Slavery, Jim Crow, segregated housing, fine. But to compare today to back then is just idiotic. You can work hard today and get a good education. You can move away from a bad location. Hell, you can apply yourself and achieve the highest level of powers this country has to offer. Saying you're still a slave is like saying we're still suppressed by the British monarchy. You're not only being disingenuous, but you're also diminishing the very meaning of the things that your ancestors went through.
These are things that we have to attack on every side because the enemy is attacking on every side.
This is why we have self-defense classes, to make sure we can have the best response when we are doing non-armed or armed rescues.
We are warriors.
So I just like to say I don't mind at all them learning how to use the guns. As a matter of fact, it's the one thing in this video that I really applaud them for. They're going to someplace safe. They're learning from people who know how to use them, and they're using the guns correctly. I got no problems with that. My only problem comes with the ideas that are manifest with that. At what point is it going to be where you feel like you're being oppressed, or you feel like you're being harassed or whatever, that you pull out your gun and you hurt someone who wasn't really oppressing you, who wasn't really hurting you? That's the only problem I have with this, but we'll move on from that topic for now.
In America, black women face a unique set of threats. Their concerns involve a deadly combination of racism and violent patriarchy. Every 19 hours in America, a black woman is killed by a man, and once every 21 hours, a black woman is killed by a black man. The Black Women's Defense League is showing these women how to fight back.
Now, I don't know if they meant to do this, or if it's just the way I'm taking it. And it could be that they're being totally honest with this, and it just didn't come across quite right. But the way it sounds is like they're trying to say that people, non-blacks, are killing black women at a higher rate than black men. After all, the first statistic that comes out is 19 deaths per hour, and the second one is 21 deaths per hour by black males. Now, again, they could be totally trying to be honest with this, but if they're not, they're being a bit disingenuous. Because then, of the 461 women who are killed by men, I should say black women that are killed by men a year, 417 of those are by black men.
In terms of this house, do you guys have guns here?
Yeah. Guns were actually involved in the civil rights movement because of the fact that there might be a cross burning in your front yard. It was because of the fact your daughter might go to church and there's a bomb in the church. It's just that history has been hidden.
She's totally right here. I mean, guns were instrumental in the civil rights movement. You could have had a cross burn. Hell, they could have come to try and lynch you if you were black in the country back in those days. The only problem with this movement is they tend to, as far as I can tell, they tend to be heavily stacked Democrat, and that's the very party that was pushing for their oppression and pushing for them to be disarmed.
Black women have been identified as the fastest growing demographic of gun owners. Of course, Being a black gun owner is a dangerous proposition in a country.
Now, this is more funny than argumentative, but the person that they're showing right here, his name is Colion Noir. He works for the NRA, and he, I can guarantee, would disagree with large sections of the premise of this video.
That has historically criminalized black gun ownership. From the birth of this nation through Jim Crow, it was illegal in some states for blacks to even possess guns. And modern gun control, as we know it, began as a conservative cause pushed forth by politicians like Ronald Reagan in the 60s to keep firearms out of the hands of groups like the Black Panthers. Many argue that this legacy continues today.
So they say that it's a conservative movement that tried to keep the guns out of the hands of the Black Panthers and by extension black people. I mean, I don't know if you know what Google is, but just look this up. It was a push to get guns out of the hands of violent people. We were going through some terrible times. But the laws were not race specific, as in years past they had been under Jim Crow. They weren't race specific. A white person getting caught would have faced the same kind of trouble. So, I mean, this is victim mentality at its best. And that's not to say that black people and people of color don't face certain issues that other groups don't. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that to find it in the places that they're finding it is disingenuous at best. So for time purposes and copyright purposes, I'm not going to show, obviously, the whole video. However, I will leave a link in the description. Feel free to go check them out. Don't troll them. Don't go there and cause problems. Just go check it out. See what you think about the video. See what you think about their arguments. Maybe I'm wrong. Feel free to let me know. As for the scavenger hunt clue, it's 1801. The rules are simple. When you figure it out, take a picture of yourself with the thing holding 3 pens or pencils and send it to me in an email. The winner will get $20 and an etched pug mug. You must be safe in pursuing the scavenger hunt. I don't think that absolutely needs to be said for you guys, but I'm going to say it anyway. Be safe doing this. Don't get yourself hurt. I don't want anyone getting hurt because they forgot to look both ways when crossing or fall off something. The hunts will be in open areas and should be relatively easy to find a safe vantage point to get a picture. If you like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, show some love to the pug, and as always, remember to stay pugnacious.